Lucky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Well, looky here. Made it through another freaking weekend. It's our Monday live. We are live. If you're listening to this every Monday around 11:30 or 1 or 10:15 or kind of whenever we do it on Mondays, you can hit us.
That's why it's just called a Monday live.
Yeah, just Monday live.
Don't want
to pigeonhole.
It's dark in here. Why is it so dark in here again? I thought it was looking pretty decent for a minute there.
Yeah, it was.
Does that help? Nope. Does that help? Nope.
No.
That's as bright as it gets. Oh, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It looked fine right before we started. Then it, I don't know, going live took the light energy out of it.
Who knows? Anyway, so one game from bowl eligibility, is that true?
Yeah, that is true. All you need is 6 wins to get to a bowl. That's it. So
412 bowl games. So by God,
man, if we don't get to a bowl this year,
we missed it by 1 last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was good game on Saturday. Fun game to watch.
All good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see here. Other than that, watching the storm, Milton, while everybody's still scrambling from Helene. Milton, weird hurricane now. You said it's it's category 1 or 3 now or something like that?
Yeah, it was a 1 this morning, according to the local, to Sean on Channel 7. It was like a 1 when he got into the studio, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whenever he gets in. And then by 6 o'clock, the first 6 o'clock weather is already a category 3.
So they're saying Tampa is the direct hit on the west coast of Florida, and people in that area scratching their heads because they are unfamiliar with the sight of a hurricane developing over the Yucatan and coming straight east at them.
Yeah.
There was one that hit a couple years. Was it Ian that hit at about
Ian.
the same place? And they're evacuate 2 days ago. They were telling people this looks really bad. It doesn't. This looks like it's going to come right here. So then it's like, well, where do we go? Because South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina, they're all in trouble. Can we get through there to get on the other side of all of this? I don't even know where they go.
If there is a bright spot in this, at least it's not going that same path, going back up where the storm after the hurricane turns into a tropical depression or whatever and then heads inland. It's not going north. It's at least going to be out in the Atlantic Ocean, going to go across Florida. Unless it changes right now.
Yeah. It is unbelievable what's the videos that are coming out. And I know everybody gets their chance to see them on social media and kind of get caught up on what's going on. It's hard to fathom what's going on. It's in a very small scale, but it's still very real to the people that went through it. It's very reminiscent of the floods we had about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And you think about what was going on in some areas west of town that you couldn't get to those people and they had nowhere to go and they were stuck in their homes. They couldn't cook. And I remember several volunteers or people putting together efforts and then taking whatever 4-wheel drives to get out there, and they were in their hip waders and literally delivering door to door because the people couldn't even walk out of their houses. Right.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing, except in this case, there's even places where there was a house or 5 and now it's the middle of the river. And so they can't even rebuild.
I mean, did not even think about that scenario.
There's nothing even there. There's nothing to rebuild. So what do you do with that? And getting, it was interesting watching one girl she did a video kind of talking about where the road is. Like when you get up into the mountains, there's one road. It's not like a whole bunch of country roads. It's not a well planned out map. It was just the easiest place to put the road. You know what else that is? That's where water runs.
Yeah. Right.
The path of least resistance is where water runs, right? And so it's in all these valleys where they could run the roads through. So sometimes they went way north and they come back south and they go back north, and it didn't make any sense. It was like 30-mile road to go 5 miles. And that's exactly the same place the water ran. So that's why you typically had the roads near the water, and now the roads are gone. So the people way up the hill, hard to get to them.
So like what? Not that those people, who knows? Do you still pay your mortgage? Like if you don't have land anymore, you don't have a house anymore, you still have to pay for your mortgage?
I wonder how a lot of that, because I remember being like, there's mountains down in southeastern Oklahoma where we used to go years ago. We would go down there. There was a trail ride that went from like Tallahena, Oklahoma to Mena, Arkansas. And it took us a week to ride this. And you'd ride through the mountains following this guy, Choctaw Indian. He knew the paths and the trails like the back of his hand, right? He was fascinating. I was too young to really appreciate it. I remember a lot of it because I was like 10, 11, 12 when this happened. But we'd go down there every year and you'd cross rivers. Sometimes your horse would be swimming. Sometimes it was ankle deep, and then you were going through the woods. You'd see wild boar. You'd see wild cows because everybody let all their critters run all year, and then they'd scoop them all up in the end of the year and take them in for slaughter, right? So it was just an interesting world. But as you're riding through, you'd see little shacks. And that's where people lived.
Yeah.
And I don't know who owns what. Or some didn't have electricity going to them. And the ones that did, you think about that up there. If they had electricity going to them, it's going to be a long time before electricity is back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Back
up the mountain, right? And same way with water and getting to their water supplies, unless they had their own manual wells. But I think about those houses. And people just on their little front porch. Those were tiny houses, tiny homes before there were tiny homes.
Right. Seriously,
that's what they look like.
Yeah.
And they were just out there somewhere, kind of camouflaged back in the trees. Like, oh my God, there's a little house back there.
Yeah.
Right. There's a little barn over there. Yeah. And they were just hiding from the government.
Right. Hey, that's where the seeds of your whatever you do now.
What? What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. That's where your seeds of conspiracy were planted. Why are these people hiding from the government? What is going on?
What is the grid? And why are they
on this grid?
Tell me more. So anyway, so all of that stuff going on right now, which is, watching the weather. And I think they did say that's probably going to hit on Wednesday during the day, more so than the overnight, which is, at least there's that.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to look at it. Some Diddy news. I can pull up a little bit of Diddy news. There were a couple stories that came out this weekend. First off, the first one that came out, I don't know if you saw the lawyer that came out who is now representing over 100 Diddy victims.
Yeah, I did see that.
So there's kids to adults, and this came out late last week, admittedly, and they started talking, and he got on top of it, and he said, if you've seen the video of this guy talking, he was like, names are going to come out, and these are names you don't expect. And he said, you're probably going to see a little bit of some celebrity panic, and some people trying to kind of lay the groundwork for how they weren't involved in some of these things, or why they were in a picture somewhere, how they got caught photo bombing a picture. There's Diddy's in the same picture, and I wasn't really with him. And so they're expecting to see that. But along with that, also remember NT Lawyer, which is the entertainment lawyer in Los Angeles. He put out a couple of stories, and actually a couple places did this one in particular. That lawyer that's represented the 100 Diddy victims, it's been reported multiple places. He put up a 24-hour hotline. Once he announced he already had these victims who have stepped forward, he got over 12,000 calls in 24 hours. What? And so, from people who were calling in potential victims. This is what they were. They were calling in because they said, oh, you've got 100 already? Add my name. There are these people stepping forward. And he said, just say even 50% of them are real. That's still 6,000 more victims.
Wow.
Even 10%. That's 1,200 more victims. It's like incredible number that have come forward. And most likely there will be hundreds of Diddy co-conspirators and clients of Diddy's ring that also are going to be identified. So it's not just about Diddy and the victims, much like Epstein. This, though, might actually see the light of day.
Yeah. If he stays alive.
If he stays alive. Well, at this point, I wonder how much evidence this lawyer has. He has more than just the victims, because, you know, like Epstein, they had victims.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't have evidence, and I don't know, or somebody has it.
Yeah,
or CIA,
we don't know about the evidence.
Wherever they took that vault of pictures. But the same with the Diddy stuff that they took from his homes. Everybody saw it. It's like this just keeps happening right under our noses. You're right about that. It's I don't know, but right now it looks like you're going to see more and more names start popping. I sent you over that first purported list.
Yeah.
Which are a lot of the people you expected. There's a few on there that were like, oh, I didn't expect that name on this list.
Yeah. Now I've seen some things this past weekend too of Diddy being an informant for the FBI. Is there any truth to that?
I think that's people trying to lay groundwork for dismissal, right? Like, you know, trying to reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
But what if he was actually working for the CIA? What if he was actually trying to entrap people who were involved in and it's like, it's too messy.
Yeah.
It's too messy for that. That NT lawyer put out another thing back in 2001. TLC, the group TLC. Chili from TLC was dating Usher back in 2001.
Okay.
They split in 2004. And apparently the reason they split was because Usher was spending more and more time with Sean Combs again. And remember, he was with Sean Combs when he was becoming famous and became not adopted by him, but he was his guardian. Diddy was Usher's guardian for a while. And that's when the freak-offs also were really starting to pick up some steam. And she got away from it once that started happening. So fast forward 2 weeks after the death of Kim Porter. Kim Porter was the one who died in 2018. Chili makes a public statement that she won't talk to Usher again because she saw, quote, a video. And that was what Kim Porter that was why she wrote the book, was because she saw the videos. And then she disappeared. Right? She was disappeared, or she was deaded. That's about it. Yeah. And but Chili, she did the same thing about the time when Kim Porter disappeared or went dead. Then all of a sudden Chili's like, hey, me too. I don't want anything to do with Usher anymore. I saw the videos. So he just brought that up. And that was one of his blinds from years ago. So that would have been in 2018, 2019 when that all came out.
Interesting.
So more names getting connected as we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of nervous people out there, I think.
I agree. And back to the weather thing real quick. National Weather Service, by the way, has updated some terminology for us, especially us that live here in the cold parts of the country. I don't know if you saw this the other day.
I don't think I did.
But now apparently they're no longer going to have extreme cold watch or a wind chill watch. It will be an extreme cold watch regardless. They're not going to use the words wind chill anymore. That's really what this comes down to.
Okay. Extreme
cold warning, wind chill warning, just going to be an extreme cold warning. And the wind chill advisory now will be a cold weather advisory. I don't know why.
Why? I don't know. I don't know why we do the feels like and wind chill anyway. It's like, if that's what it is outside, if it feels like it's 97, then it's 97. If it feels like it's with wind chills of -30, then it's -30 degrees.
Just call it what it is.
It doesn't matter.
Because ultimately it doesn't matter. The only difference, that's going to make no difference the size of the coat that I put on if you call it feels like.
No.
And here's the actual temperature. It's what it feels like is what matters.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And I got one more for you. Nicholas Sparks has a new book out. Going to be made into a movie.
Omaha, right?
Yes. The book's called Counting Miracles. It just came out on the 24th of September. And I saw a video. TikTok, God dang you. So Counting Miracles is going to be made into a movie, published on the 24th of September. And in it is reference to Asheboro, North Carolina, which is east of Asheville, and Hurricane Helene.
What? That's bizarre.
So I'm waiting to see what the connection is, because I obviously didn't buy the book. But they showed a couple of the pages. That was enough for me. I was just like, Okay.
That's enough for you to like. Great. One more thing. Get your pen out.
One more
And
thing to
one
get
more
me
thing.
going. Well, you remember the whole deal on the Titanic? There was a book that was called something like Really Big Ship. It wasn't called Titanic. But it
Yeah.
was the word for like Gigantico or something like that. And it was the world's largest ship ever. And it hit an iceberg and it sank to the bottom, and it was because of other things that were 50 years before Titanic.
Yeah. I mean, those are the little things that make you think, and everybody think, and not everybody, that we're just in one big play or one big movie that we're being controlled.
Matrix. Go ahead, say it.
The Matrix.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Matrix. I couldn't think of it.
What timeline are we on? What timeline are we on? That's another one. Do you know what time it is? When people say that, that's what they're talking about. When they say, do you know what time it is? Talking about the timelines.
What should my answer be?
No.
No? No.
I do not know.
No, I do not know.
What time it is. I don't know what time it is, but I feel like it's late.
Yeah, like the 11th hour. It's late.
Yeah. Fourth turning. Look up that one if you get a chance. That's another good one. So anyway, so anything on the lighter side? I have a couple things, but you go ahead.
I've got something too. I remember last week I talked about how Beth was off Thursday, Friday, and Monday today, and she was just excited to sleep in. Loves to sleep in. Blah blah blah, and started the construction right on the corner of our house on Friday. So couldn't sleep in then. And then this morning, all weekend, of course, they didn't work. And then this morning at 7:10, I hear 7:10. By the way. I took a video and thinking, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. Windows wide open, it's beautiful out. And this is what I hear when I open my garage, or I'll put this up.
Oh, good.
That's like literally right outside our house. One more time. Hold on. And there's one more.
Did you take him coffee? That's all. Yeah. And with no other city sounds, it reverberates much louder.
Yeah. And
so,
a very echoey street anyway, because there's just the way that it comes down the hill and there's all those houses. It's really echoey anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I went back inside and shut the windows a little bit, and she was already awake, and it helped some.
Was her eyes this big? Like,
yeah. Yeah. She goes, well, this is awesome.
All right, I think I've got one for you.
Okay.
Let me see here. I'm going to share one more. I think I always worry about this. We'll see what comes up. Is that the one? Yes, this is the one. This is hilarious. And I think, here we go. Share. This is a game. Let me make this full screen.
Okay.
There you go. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah. I watched this the other day when you sent it to me.
These guys, they have to run up, each get one swing to nail in one, to nail in the hammer or nail the nail into the wood. These guys suck. It's so funny. I watched it over and over.
It's frustrating. It is so frustrating.
And watch it. Why is it so jumpy? Is it jumpy on your end?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why. No, it just cracks me up. I can see there's so much volume. There's no volume on this. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, and let me go fast forward here so you can see where they finally get. Look at how long we've been doing this. It's been 2 minutes. There's still 2 more.
Like I got anxiety at the end of this so bad. Like, oh my God.
We're gonna bend it over. Oh my God, you gotta get it. Oh, look at this. I can't stop.
Those guys on the right are like
so bad. Okay, that's all. That was it. So anyway, I want to play that game though.
I watched that a couple times. That's hilarious.
I want to know why nobody turned their hammer sideways and tried to hit it on the flat side.
Right. Unless that was a rule, that would be really smart to do that.
Maybe it was. Maybe they didn't need it.
Yeah.
Because I think they would have missed anyway.
Yeah, they for sure would have missed anyway.
They didn't need
Especially
it.
Those guys on the right.
Yeah, I think that's it. So
yeah.
Anyway, do I have any others for you real quick? I have one more for you if you want to see one more.
Okay.
Why not? We'll just wrap up the day with something kind of cute. Okay. Because it's cats.
Gotta love that.
And so we'll go ahead and let this one play. These are called country cats. So we're going to turn it on. And here we go. Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, the cat slapped his nose. These are just funny to me. Oh, he says, oh, you gosh, eating the cat. Whoa.
Okay, Suede, too much. Hey, too much.
Too much.
You bit him. I just love it. And this one. Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a cat guy. She's not a cat. She's not a human cat. Cat human.
What the hell was that?
Oh, by the ear. And there you go. Okay, that's enough of that.
Oh my gosh.
So-
You got to be tough if you're a country cat.
Country cats.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Is there anything else this week?
I don't think so. I don't think so. We got Huskers have a bye week, so they don't play again until the following Saturday against Indiana.
Yeah, all the
Yep.
weddings this week.
Yep, tons of weddings. Happy weddings.
Reunions,
Happy wedding week.
parties,
Vacations.
anniversaries, all that good stuff.
Yep.
All right, good enough, guys. We'll have a great week.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening and watching. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day. See you later.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.